my... That's better. I'll turn on my front desk lamp. Anyhow. Hello, everybody. Tonight we are playing some, we're going back to Black-White Eldrazi taxes, per the request of a certain All-A-Time 69, a frequent watcher and supporter of the channel. We have the world's best 3-2, Wasteland Strangler. Definitely better than Tireless Tracker and Bloodbraid Elf. You heard it here first. My favorite 3-2, perhaps. Don't know if I want to make any edits to the main or sideboard right now. Feeling okay about where this list is right now in Modern. We have like double Fatal Push, Settle the Wreckage, Stranglers, stuff like that against humans. The Hollow One matchup might be a little dicey with just... I guess we have like double Crusader, Settle the Wreckage. I could definitely see cutting a Crusader right now. I don't know what I would put in. We even have the Relic Order. Could put in like a Sin Collector. Could put in maybe another Settle instead. Maybe another like Rest in Peace or Piece of Graveyard Hate. I think we'll run this list back for another league. Although I could easily see cutting these Crusaders, even both of these Crusaders. They're kind of medium right now. Death Shadow's been on the downtick. Maybe I could also see I could see Zealous Persecution instead of Orzhov Pontiff, since Boggles is kind of surging in popularity, and that can be a very dicey matchup. And being able to kill a Boggle on turn 2, like being able to kill a Boggle when you're on the play with a Zealous Persecution versus you're just never going to have the window to shoot down Boggle with an Orzhov Pontiff. So I could definitely see playing Zealous Persecution. I don't think I have any right now. We're just going to run this back for one more league. Haven't played with this too much, so we'll work out the kinks. Modern Eldrazi taxes. So what am I doing with this? I was trying out the Shalai still. I think I've only played one Eldrazi Taxes League with these Shalais, but Shalai plus Displacers and stuff feels very powerful. So Shalai backed up by Hand Disruption, being able to protect it. Ooh, on the die roll. Ugh, we're not going to keep this hand, that's for sure. We'll keep this. It's got a lot of good cards. Being on the play, like, all of these 2-drops are very, very strong. We'll see what the opponent's doing and, like, play our 2-drop accordingly. I think I just want more lands. If I go, I can go, like, 2-drop, 2-drop, double 2-drop or something if I have 4 lands. What is the opponent on? What is this deck? Like, Red-Green Eldrazi? What? I don't think I can't think of another... I guess, like, Grove Hierarch could be some sort of, like, random Kiki Chord, Saheeli combo, like, one of those nonsense decks that just play Groves because they're better than Stomping Grounds, because if you're, like, infinite life comboing your opponent, it can be more relevant. Either way, I think Thalia is not on the table against a Noble Hierarch deck. I think we're going to lead with Arbiter. If they're on, like, Eldrazi, this Arbiter's kind of awkward, but if they're on any of the Saheeli nonsense, or, like, the random green fetch land value decks, a bunch of mana dorks and stuff, then Arbiter will be really good. Nope, I think they're on Red-Green Eldrazi. Karplusan Forest is definitely not a card you want to play unless you're playing Thought-Knot Seers, Matter Reshapers, that sort of thing. Luckily, we can still tide all of them before they reach, like, their Thought-Knot turn. It's gotta be Eldrazi, right? Bolt the Arbiter. Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely down to just Tide Haul on my opponent here. See what they've got going on. Well, that's horrifying. Bloodbraid, Smasher, Smasher, Ronus. Do I just take this Bloodbraid and hope they don't hit the land? How am I going to beat Smasher, Smasher? I don't think I'm just beating this Bloodbraid, though. They top deck a land. They get to attack me for 6. I go down to 16. Ideally, we play like Shalai. They attack me for 10 down to 6. This could get ugly. But if I let them have this Bloodbraid, we are just like very, very dead. Anyway, I think we're gonna hope to draw like Wasteland Strangler or something. We could strangle a Mana Dork and get rid of this Bloodbraid forever. Nope, they top deck the land. So we're probably going to get brutalized here. Smash for 5, or smash for 6. We really want Path to Exiles. I don't know what else we want. Mostly just Path. That is a really bad land 4 as well. That is just the worst. Not that playing Shalai would actually be super relevant here. I guess I could double block a Smasher if they attack with both, and then I don't lose one of my creatures. Because that's the case, we're going to play Arbiter here. We're probably just going to, like, we can't beat this Ronus if we take 10 this turn, next turn go to 6. We're just not going to be able to beat Ronus plus Pump. Boreal Druid, it's interesting. I've never actually played against Red Green Eldrazi before, so I wasn't aware they played Boreal Druid, because it kind of makes sense for colorless mana. Better than, like, Birds of Paradise. Yeah, opponent just takes me to Pound Town here. If we draw Path, we're probably still dead. Nice. Yeah, alright, we're not winning this game. I will concede, opponent. Not super familiar with what's in Red-Green Eldrazi. I imagine that Fatal Pushes for their Mana Dorks are good. Stuff like Settle, Orzhov, Pontiff, Gonti. Are Burnt and Forge Tenders good? Do they have red cards that aren't like Bolt? Can I find a list online? Perhaps. Red-Green Eldrazi from like 3 months ago? Alright, this person's not playing... this person's not playing Boreal Druid, but it's probably pretty similar. Obligator, Reshaper, Thought-Knot, Smasher, Endbringer. And then sideboard they have EE, and sometimes Kozilek's Return, I guess. They have 4 bolts, and that's about the extent of the red cards. Yeah, I think Forge Tender's probably not worth it. Crusader might be worth it. Crusader blocks a lot of their stuff pretty profitably. And they don't seem like they're taxed very much by Thalia or by, yeah, this list plays like 2 fetch lands, so both Arbiter and Thalia are kind of horrible in this matchup. Maybe this is just like a mid-range fight. They don't curve very high. They curve at Smasher. 1 Mind Stone, yeah. Relic Warrior's not quite worth it. The issue with this is that we just don't have any early plays, right? Like, this is suddenly my curve. That's the issue with... The biggest issue that I've had with taxes in Modern is that the decks that Leonin Arbor and Thalia aren't good against, your 2-drop slot, your curve just, like, completely goes out of whack. Maybe I'm supposed to keep in, like, a Thalia. 2 and first strike's okay against some of their stuff. Might be just better than Gideon. Let's do that. What does their basics look like? 1 forest, 1 mountain. Would like to play first. Yeah. Man. Although these are, like, both of the mulligans have been one-landers, they haven't been like, oh, this Eldrazi, this 3-color no-fetch land man base is screwing me. It's just the, these one-land hands. I guess if this was a white-black land, I might keep with double Fatal Push Path, but... Alright, we'll keep this. Opponent also mulligan to 6. So being able to Fatal Push their... We'll scratch at the bottom. Being able to Fatal Push their Mandork seems really important in this matchup, since they seem like a mid-range deck that wants to skip their 2. They scratch to the top. Yep. Displacer is good. I can play Displacer on turn 3. I don't want to Tide Hollow here. I think I just want to capitalize on this Fatal Push. Especially because I can just Tide Hollow on this Vial next turn. Another Boreal Druid, sure. And Ancient Stirrings. What are they going to get? Would be fine with most things. Displacer's going to be real good if they don't have bolts. They just find a land, okay. Let's see what we draw. Ideally, like, another Fatal Push or something. Or Soft Pontiff would be really good. Especially with Displacer. Another Vial, not so good. So, we are actually going to main phase this Tide Hollow here. I want to protect Displacer from Bolt, and since I have to cast Displacer this turn, vialing this Tide Hollow on their draw step just isn't worth, like, that extra sight. I just really want to protect this Displacer since my hand's not doing a lot. If they have a Bolt for this Displacer, when I vial on this Tide Hollow and I take, like, something else, it just gets really awkward. I think this Displacer is pretty relevant to me winning this game. Yeah, we'll take this Thought Knot because they can cast it next turn. I guess I could have just taken the Smasher, right? I don't really care if they cast Thought Knot. They take an Aether Vial. I don't really care about Smasher either, because I'll just have Displacer up. They just Stirrings here. They grab Eldrazi Temple. What do I want to draw? Like Flicker Wisp, I guess? Tide Hollow. If I had to vial on 2 Tide Hollow, it'd be super nice. I could Flicker. And I mean, in this case, I can still just take the Smasher, but then I leave my Flicker down. Let's attack first. I think taking the Tide Hollow is definitely worth it, or taking their Smasher is definitely worth it, though. Alright. Unless my opponent draws, like, Engineered Explosives or Kozilek's Return, I think we're pretty good here. Temple. The question is, do I want to like flicker a Tide Hall on their draw step? Probably. I'm not. I don't really care if they get a Thought Knot if they draw something scarier. Although, if they draw a Bolt or something, I think they're inclined to try and... I guess they have to Bolt this Displacer if I have 3 mana up, though. They're not going to Bolt these Tide Hollows. But if I do flicker the Tide Hollow and they draw Bolt, they can, like, Bolt down the Smasher. The one on the Smasher. Get it back. Still don't know how much I care. Let's see what they have. Are they gonna obligate one of my creatures? I don't really care. I take a little bit of damage, I guess. Flickering my Tide Hollow or something doesn't do anything because they're tapped out. They can attack, sure. They attack me for 6. That's fine. Oh, they can't even flicker because they had to pay a bunch of mana. They're just hitting me for 3 here. This is when you cast, so I don't have to worry about flickering it. Ooh. I think this game's just pretty much over. So Hand Disruption seems like it's very strong against my opponent's deck, because they're pretty light on interaction. Seems like they're mostly just playing a pile of bolts, maybe some Dismembers, a Cosmic Return or something on the sideboard. Leave up this Flicker Wisp just in case, but they are likely dead. Yep. So game 3. Do I want to change anything out? I don't think so. I think we just need to draw Fatal Pushes for their mana dorks in the early game, so we can make them stumble. Wasteland Strangler seems pretty powerful, like Scholar into Strangler. Let's run it back. Well, what you got, opponent? Alright, these are the hands that do come back to bite you a little bit. With the Eldrazi Texas deck, the old double colorless. And I think I do still keep. I have Eldrazi Temple to supplement my multiple Eldrazi spells. If I can work up to like the Flicker Wisp Strangler combo at some point. And Turn Vial is still really strong. And I can always like Ghost Quarter myself if I really need to, but opponent with no Mana Dork is really good for me. Ideally, we just draw a white source so we can play Displacer or something like that. Oh, wait, what? Opponent just kept a one-lander? Mountain? Or did they have 6 of their turn? I think it's more likely they have 6 of their turn, but... Yes. Doing it. Do I actually want to cast Displacer into this Bolt when I could just play Thalia or nothing? Guess I kind of do. It works better with this Aether Vial, I suppose. Because I could just I'm being mana inefficient if I cast my 2-drop and then take my Vial up to 2, and notably have like 4 2-drops left in the deck. I think I'm okay if this gets bolted. We have a lot of boltable spells in our hand. There's no way they keep this hand if they don't have bolts. Maybe it's right to still play Thalia, just to play the long game, since opponents missed A-line drop. Might have been F6th, though. A Noble. No card is exiled, so we can't actually strangle this. Let's draw Tide Hollow Scholar. That would be really ideal. Unfortunate. Ghost Quarter almost does something if they have one forest, one mountain. Doesn't do anything yet, but I think we're just leaving up this path, honestly. I just don't want to cast any of my spells. If they slam Thought Knot, I want to be able to path it. So let's just play... Man, I wish I had something. Next turn, if we don't get Thought Knotted, we have Flicker Wisp plus Strangler. Flicker out a land, Strangler the Noble Hierarch, and then they're basically dead. But I sense that I'm going to get Thought Knotted. Let's see it, opponent. I'd love to get, like, Reality Smasher here. That'd be great. If they just have Eldrazi Temple Smasher, hit me for 6, then I can Flicker Wisp out the Smasher, Strangler the Hierarch or something. Or even just, like... No. I guess I could, like, Path the Smasher, Flicker Wisp out the land, Strangle the Hierarch, Flicker out the Eldrazi Temple, Strangle the Hierarch, but then they still have a bunch of other stuff. We'll just see. We'll wait to see what the opponent does. Probably shouldn't have 6, since I do have this path. That I definitely want to cast if the opponent has a... Notably, they can't actually cast colorless spells yet. They have Noble, they don't have Boreal Druid. So let's see what their plan is. One day the opponent will come back. Get those set up. Never played against red-green Eldrazi before. The opponent's actually doing things. Cavern. So they do have the colorless source. Name's human. I guess naming Eldrazi is kind of irrelevant. Not like I'm countering any of my opponent's spells, and it might mana fix them for something. I'm down if they, like, Bloodbraid this turn. That'd be great. Bloodbraid into a non-creature spell that they can't cast into the Thalia. Ooh, that's also good. And then Bolt the Thalia. Sure. So now we send the opponent back to the Stone Age. I guess they have double Mana Dork. Let's just draw Orzhov Pontiff. Get the real Rubbins. But right now, I could kill both the Hierarchs. I think I want to actually kill their colorless source, though. Flicker Wisp about the Cavern, Strangler the Hierarch. So I could play this tapped land, but then I'd have to take a damage. Or if I play the Swamp, what's the punish? I guess I have to take a damage if I want to cast Path. So that's fine. We'll play the Swamp first, since there's not a 100% chance I cast Path anyway. So let's Flicker Wisp. Snipe this Cavern. Strangler. If the opponent has like a third bolt, they could save their land, bolt their own guy. What you got, opponent? Yep. Send them back to the Stone Age. What do I want to draw? Do they have the Bolt? Are they trying to cast something? Opponent's cast, like, was trying to pay cost. Yeah, opponent's trying to pay costs here. Oh, they have Dismember. Sure. I might have been tempted. I mean, I obviously don't know what's in the opponent's hand. If they don't care about their cavern, then there's no reason to dismember their own hierarch to save it. They're more colorless, okay. Thought not, sure. Resolves. Trigger on the stack, we path it, and then we kind of hope we draw a land, honestly. I think this Ghost Quarter becomes free after that. If the I guess I only looked at one list, but we might be able to just Ghost Quarter this Grove, take them off of colorless again. Yep, we drew a land. That's actually like the best land to draw to. Opponent can't Thoughtseize anything because our hand is full of lands. And I think I can Ghost Quarter this Grove. Scholar is interesting. Might as well cast it. Let's see if they have a spell as the last card. That's a good spell to take. Let's see if they have any other basics at all, let alone basic wastes. That's what I'm curious about here. They do have more basics, okay. But taking them off of colorless mana is also very relevant, so I don't really care about kind of throwing that Ghost Quarter in the gutter. They have no cards in hand, so now if they top deck like a Matter Reshaper or a Reality Smasher or a Thought-Knot Seer, they can't cast it. Ancient Stirrings only finds colorless cards. They could find like Kozilek's Return, that'd be kind of scary. Eldrazi Obligator. So that's just a 3-1 with haste, because they can't use the extra ability. And I'm winning the damage race. They might just play it and pass. They cannot afford to attack. They're at 11. This attack cannot be correct. I have a Shambling Vent opponent. There's absolutely no way this attack is correct. We just get to attack them for 7 down to 4? Black, white, colorless. Yeah, this deck seems really bad, because then I wouldn't have attacked with the Tide Hollow if they had let this back. I just attack with these two, and then they get to trade, so they only take 2 or 3 here, instead of taking 7 and going to 4. Yeah. I don't really know what the opponent was going through their head right there, but definitely did not seem to go according to plan. punch to 4. Now what's the worst case? The worst case is, like, what, Bloodbraid into K-Return? Then I still have the Shambling Events. They blow up their own guys, too. They get a Smasher back, but then they also need the colorless land. So if I attack with everything, they'd just block Obligator here, Hierarch here, take 2, and then get Smasher back. So I'd probably just attack with Strangler, Shambling Vent. Because then if they trade with Strangler, they take 2, and then I have 2 lethal attackers through this chump blocker. Oh, or they're just done. If they drew a land or something, then they're probably just dead. Whew. 3, 2, 1. 2-1 against red-green Eldrazi. Let's go to round 2. Kind of a bummer for the opponent if they're 2-2. Now they're 2-3. I mean, they did like they did kind of punt away that third game with the attack on the Obligator. I guess not punt away, but the attack with the Obligator was very loose. They could have bought themselves several turns to top deck something if they were drawing to like EEs or Kozilek's Returns or Bloodbraid Elf. Even Bloodbraid Elf into Lightning Bolt buys them time since it's a blocker and it kills one of my guys. Interesting deck. I'm not sure I know this deck popped up a while back and kind of faded back into obscurity recently, but I'm not really seeing the power level just looking at this list. Like, what do you gain? Like an aggressive Eldrazi deck that can Lightning Bolt your opponent down? You gain the ability to turn to Thought-Knot Seer more consistently, because you could go like Mana Dork into Eldrazi Temple? I don't know. On the die roll. This hand's a little awkward, but I think it's good enough. We have turn 2 Displacers, and we have this path. These Shalais are a little far off, but... SS Nelson is our opponent today. Bobble. What could they be on? Alright. Death Shadow. Looks like just Grixis. Could be some random 4-color, 5-color, whatever. Thoughtseize take Path, probably. Maybe take a Displacer if they have like a Fatal Push plus a fetch land. I think the likely candidate is Path, yeah. Hey. Never didn't have it. Let's run out this Displacer. Fetch Death Shadow. Ooh. Bug Death Shadow? With a Tarmogoyf. That's pretty neat. Could just, like, path this punch. It's a little scary if they have Death Shadow. Not really. I have Displacers to keep that Death Shadow down. Yeah, I'm down for path this plus punch. I don't think they'll have Maelstrom Pulse in their Death Shadow deck. If they do, we get super punished, and I'm really bummed. But I don't think they have a 3-mana removal spell in their super lean Mishra's Bauble Death Shadow deck. Manamorphose. Could still be Maelstrom Pulse. Nope, it's Grimflayer. And Death Shadow. Interesting. Thought-Knot Seer is pretty good. Be happy to take something out of my opponent's hand here. And it trades with Grimflayer. Oh, I guess I'm not happy to take anything in my opponent's hand. How many colors is the opponent? 4? I think I'll trade off a Displacer if they attack with Grimflayer here. I'll take the damage from a Death Shadow, because I can just tap it down with Displacer forever. I definitely don't want to just trade here to give them the draw. Maybe no, I can't just take 8 because they get the Grimflayer trigger. They have one card, so I think we double block here. Only get minorly horribly punished if they have a removal spell. But I don't think I can let them just trigger the Grimflayer. Yep, that's fine. Could play Shalai. Shalai kind of seals the deal. Although I could just attack them down to 2 and then tap down this Death Shadow next turn. That seems better. Because I know that 2 of their cards in their hand are just literal blanks. Yeah, now they're just dead, I think. Sweet. Well, I'm happy I didn't cut these Crusaders, because they're very good in this matchup. Settle's probably fine. Gonti. These Fatal Pushes are very good. Rest in Peace seems pretty strong. I imagine they're on Traverse. So it turns off Traverses, turns Grimflayers into 2/2s, and kills Tarmogoyfs. Seems fine. They might be on Souls, but I don't know if Honda's worth it. What up, all the time? We're in round 2 right now, so you didn't miss too much. We are playing everybody's favorite. What do I want to cut, is the question. Strangler seems bad. None of their stuff is very strangleable. You could combo, like, Flicker Wisp plus Strangler, but usually you're just getting, like, your hand shredded by Thoughtseizes and stuff. Their mana base is very fragile, so being able to attack with Leon and Arbiter is pretty good. I'd actually cut Thought Knots because they're too slow. Let's do it like that. Maybe I just like Tidal more than Thought Knot actually all the time. Thought Knot gets brick walled by everything and it comes down like turn 3 on a good day. And by then they've already spewed a lot of their hand anyway. At least Tide Hollow can come down and try to disrupt them early. Alright, let's run that. I imagine they're on Lingering Souls, but A, I'm not sure how scared I am of it, and B, I'll keep this, and B, there's no guarantee. I didn't see white mana. I don't know if they're on 5-color Death Shadow or just 4-color. Like the Jund, I imagine they're on Jund Splash, Splash Stubborn Denial. And that deck usually also plays a Godless Shrine for Ranger Vios or Lingering Souls or both. Something's happening. Dylan Taxes for the win has hosted you with 58 viewers. Hey, thanks. I appreciate the support. I hope your stream went well. I tuned in for part of it. Thanks for stopping by. Hello to everyone coming in from Phil's channel. We're playing some Modern Eldrazi Taxes right now. We're in round 2. Up a game against 4-color or 5-color Death Shadow. I haven't been really paying attention to what the opponent's doing this turn. Apparently they did a lot of cycling and then Thoughtseized me. And took my Mirran Crusader. We will have a much more simple play. More Street Wraiths. Is this going to be like double Death Shadow? Please no. I mean, technically, it was double Death Shadow, but hey, we get to Tide Hollow one of them at least. Temporarily, I'm sure. Opponent's hand's probably filled with removal spells. Yup, and another Traverse. I don't think we're winning this game. I guess I take the Fatal Push? If I take the Death Shadow, they Fatal Push, Tide Hollow, then play Death Shadow. If I take the Fatal Push, they can Death Shadow plus Traverse. The Death Shadow is stuck at 4/4s currently, so I'll take the Fatal Push for now. But this game is not looking good. They had a pretty good start. It's hard to beat the super explosive starts from these Death Shadow decks. Are they tutoring for something that isn't a Death Shadow? Or did they just want 3? Just want to land. I think I'm okay with that. Just Manamorphose into Death Shadow? Maybe they drew a red spell? They bolt my Tide Hollow? Plus play Death Shadow? Nope. Collective Brutality, okay. Hit me for 6. So they have a Death Shadow and a Fatal Push in their hand. So they can't... Although if I have Displacer online, then tapping their Death Shadows means they can Fatal Push my Displacer. But Arbiter obviously does actual nothing. I think I have to Displacer. To stall, hopefully draw like land plus Settle the Wreckage or something. Running Fatal Pushes or Paths. I go to 7 here. Snap. What are they gonna snap? Thoughtseize? Traverse? Okay. Are they gonna get another land? Yeah, I guess that makes sense because it pumps their Death Shadow up 3, and then also lets them hit more land drops. They could just Fatal Push this Displacer now, punch me for. Kind of surprised they didn't shock there. This is a turn. This is a 2-turn lethal anyway. Shouldn't matter. So now we need to draw running paths or something to win this. So can we win? If I play Shambling Vent, I play Arbiter plus Path. I chop block here, go to 4. They play another Death Shadow. We have 1 draw with 4 lands of Vial on 1. We could play Flicker Wisp plus draw. Yeah, I mean, we'll play on. We have outs, not good ones, but... I'm supposed to put out Vials in this matchup. What am I doing? I don't play Modern enough anymore. Gotta pour out Vial against the Thoughtseize decks. Alright, opponent just drew Fatal Push. Let's cut these Vials, because I forgot that they are really not good. Board back in Thought-Knots. Thought-Knots are a little better on the play as well, since I'll actually have more chances to cast them before my opponent does all their nonsense. So this seems fine. Our Disruption is a lot more effective on the play as well. Stuff like Leon Arbiter and Thalia. We're going to keep this. We have a lot of powerful cards. We have Settle and Crusader. We're a little bit land light, which might come back to bite us, but we have castable spells and a lot of good things to be doing. I don't think I can ship this hand. Bobble themselves. Fetch land Thoughtseize. 3 for 3. Yep. I think my opponent is opened with basically this hand, games 1, 2, and 3. Bobble, Fetch land, Street Wraith, Thoughtseize you. They take my 2. Interesting. They're not scared of Crusader? That is a really good draw. Although, I would really like land next turn. They could have an Answer to Crusader in hand, that's why they didn't take it. Or their plan is to just hope I miss, hope I stumble on lands. The plan's working. Punch for 4. Second turn worth. Drew a land. Alright, so what's the worst case? I mean, we have to cast this Crusader and hope they don't have an answer for it, is the plan. Worst case is land Kozilek's Return or something. Don't know where they're fetching. They could just have a bolt for this. In which case, I kind of just want to chump block with the Thalia to try to get Settle online. But the opponent does know I have Settle on hand because of this Thoughtseize, so it's much easier to just attack with a single Goyf and make my Settle really bad. Opponent still has 5 cards in hand and 2 4/5s in play, so we really want to draw something good. Please don't have most things. Please don't have things that kill my Mirror Crusader opponent. Especially not Kozilek's Return. Or any sort of Pyroclasm variant that they might play in this deck. Flaying Tendrils, I don't know. I'm not familiar with the 4-color Death Shadow lists. I think I'm just going to double block this. I get to kill it, lose this Thalia, but I get to kill a Goyf. I don't think Thalia is very relevant when my opponent has 4 lands. I guess if they have the Bolt or something, then I do just get punished. They bolt the Crusader. But kind of have to play pretty fast and loose here. Bolt after first strike damage make me feel bad. That'd be the ultimate Ravens. They let first strike damage happen and then Bolt Crusader. They could have Lily, I guess, would be a reason to not block like that. Really want to just draw a land just to play this Thought Knot and to have Settle up for the future. Cycle Straight to 6. They do realize I have a Mirror Crusader in play, right? Unless they can't even kill it? Could attack them to 2. Peace, peace, love, love. Indeed. I think I'm going to Thought Knot them to see what they have going on. I am very concerned that they just cycled Street Wraith and went to 6 life here. My opponent is not about peace or love, currently. They're trying to brutally murder me with a pile of Lurgoyfs. Let's take a look at what they have going on here. Can't be like Snapcaster Mage. I guess they could Manamorphose into the Snapcaster Mage. Wow. Alright, I'm fine with this. They're just cantripping a bunch. They can also use the Snapcaster to block Crusader, but they don't have a Revolt online, so they can't like fatal push this Thought Knot. Oh, they're leaving it until after this resolves. That makes sense. I guess I take this Battle Rage. Don't really care that much if they Thoughtseize me some more. I mean, obviously Thoughtseize is really bad because they would die to this Crusader. We'll take the Battle Rage so we don't randomly die to something stupid, and we'll attack with Crusader. Goes to 5/6. But yeah, that's all it's gonna be. They can't even drop Battle Rage kill us. Unless they Battle Rage, then also kill Thought Knot. Sure. They don't, like, know the top card of their deck, right? They're not masterfully outplaying me by flipping this bolt off the top of their deck. Yeah, they don't have anything. And they jump. So I guess if I took Inquisition, then Flicker Wisp would be lethal. Alright, never mind. Thoughtseize just means Mirror Crusader is lethal, so this is fine. They do have 2 unknowns, so have to be a little careful here. Radiant Flames, huh? They're just dead. Do we just Flicker Wisp this Goyf out of the way and then they die? Radiant Flames does not kill Thought Knot, see your opponent. And you are at 4 life. Whew! Death Shadow is always really scary to play against. What do I... 4-color Death Shadow doesn't really adequately describe the deck, because some 4-color Death Shadow lists are Jund splashing white. That one was Jund splashing blue. I don't think I ever saw white. A white land. I could be wrong. Might have been 5-color Death Shadow for all I know. That just didn't decide that they needed or like drew their Lingering Souls or their whatever Ranger of Eos. But regardless, sometimes you can't gather fully complete data, since sometimes you just thrash opponents, or there are certain decks that align so similarly that you're not quite sure what they're on, like all the different Blue Moon variants. They're on like Kiki Moon, Blue Red Breach, normal Blue Moon with a bunch of dirtily win cons. Anyhow, we are 2-0, but that's usually how our leagues start. Our leagues are usually 2-0 into 2-2, crossing our fingers to win the last match. Because I have the worst luck. Anyhow, so this is the deck list we're playing right now, for those of you that didn't see it before. You can also see it either with the... Sometimes there's a Stream Decker icon on the screen that you can click on. Pops up the deck list. I don't exactly know how that extension works. Sometimes it's not even on my screen when I have this little... my own stream off to the side so I can see if everything is going according to plan. Sometimes it doesn't pop up. But you can also type !deck or !deck list. That will give you a link to the current deck that I'm playing, which is this. Anyhow, back to waiting in the modern queues. Do need to look into updating this list. Probably Zealous Persecution. I love Orzhov Pontiff. I have a little bit of a bias towards Orzhov Pontiff, but Zealous Persecution is probably correct in the meta right now with Boggles and stuff. Playing against Krayshaw, we have the old mono white taxes hand, but it's keepable. We have Pad and Thalia, and we're on the draw, so we hit more land drops. We're more likely to hit our land drops. A Temple Garden deck. Thalia is usually not good against Temple Garden decks. Oh dear. Thalia is decent against this Temple Garden deck, but hopefully they just play Core Spirit Dancer this turn. We don't have a lot of hate for this deck in the sideboard. In my mono white deck, we have 2 Settle the Wreckages and not Blossoming Defense, Blessed Alliance. In this deck, we have... this is their only play. Just attack me with a 3-1. So what's Flooded Strain doing in their deck? Pretty sure all their fetches should be green, not white. Could Arbiter plus double Ghost Quarter, but they can just fetch in response to this Arbiter. I think I want Thalia down, and the next turn Arbiter Ghost Quarter. Especially because I might not even be using my Ghost Quarters. I might just need to be using them to cast spells. Since my opponent has a 3-1 in play, and I have close to nothing. They do need to pump its toughness or give it first strike. Although first strike plus pump its toughness would have to be able to punch through Thalia here. And they didn't give it an Ethereal Armor or something last turn, so... They might have Daybreak Coronet here, which is very bad for me. That is what it's looking like. And then we probably die. How big does the Slippery Boggle get? It'd be like a 7-4 or something. Yep, 6-4, okay. With first strike. So we need more first striking power to be able to block and kill this. And I don't think we have that in the deck. Because we can't have multiple Thalias in play. What's the plan here? Lose? Might just be lose. I can chump block it for a while, since it doesn't have trample. Or no, it does have trample because the Rancor. Ugh. This is not very good. I need to produce, what? Too much toughness. Like, way too much toughness for me to deal with reasonably. Is there anything we can draw? We can draw Flicker Wisp. If they don't have another aura to put on this. We could Flicker Wisp off the Rancor to kill the Daybreak Coronet. Can't even cast Flicker Wisp with my lands right now, though. Opponent punches for 6. I'll go to 5. It's not looking very good. Path. Sure. Alright, now we can draw Flicker Wisp. I kind of want to get Swamp. But we need to get Plains. Because I think the only way we win this game is Flicker Wisp. Second path is definitely not what we wanted. Play Displacer, Chump Block, die. Pretty good plan. Don't think we have any other first strike in the deck. Trying to think. Strangler doesn't do anything. Yeah. They just cast a spell here. We now Flicker Wisp is in and out, and we will die here. GG. Very hard to beat Boggles game 1 with this deck. It probably involves getting down early Displacer plus Flicker Wisp action. So let's bring in Relic Warder, Pontiff, Settle, and Mirren Crusaders are the good cards. Fatal Push is strictly better than Path. You do want Answers to Core Spirit Answer in your deck, post-board, since that card can just run away with games if you board out too much of your removal. And we do have probably worse cards in our deck. Shalai doesn't do anything. Probably want some number of these shaved paths. Path can also ramp you into like turn 3 settle if you path your own things. Well, not with this deck, because we don't have Thraben Inspector. But it can ramp you if your mislaying drops or something. So it's not a non-zero thing. Is Gonti good enough? Death Touch usually isn't good because their thing has first strike a lot of the time. Daybreak Coronet, Ethereal Armor, Cartouche of Solidarity, Hyena Umbra. All that jazz. So what else do we want to cut then? More paths. I guess no, Stranglers are probably worse than paths. I'd rather have Path in my deck than Strangler. Strangler is only good in conjunction with Flicker Wisp. You just strangle your own stuff to eat auras forever, which is kind of mediocre. Let's run it like that. We have 4 answers to what's it called? Course Spirit Dancer. We have Relic Order is good. Fatal Push is medium at best. I think we keep this. Relic Order plus Displacer can get decent if we get enough mana. We do need to draw a lot more, though. Ideally, draw Eldrazi Temple so we can curve out Displacer into Thought-Knot into Relic Order plus Blinks. Or my opponent just mulligans into Oblivion. My experience playing against Boggles players is that they just never mulligan. They always have the perfect 7s. That seems to always happen. But now opponent's mulligan into 6. Really want to top deck Eldrazi Temple. They have a dude. That is indeed a dude. Ooh, that is an excellent draw. Lets me delay the inevitable. They can play only 1 aura. If it's anything besides Hyena Umbra, they can't even attack, because Thalia can block. I guess it could be Griff Spoon as well. They play that sometimes as a one-of. Hyena Umbra. Unfortunate. Maybe I block anyway. Do I trade Thalia for this Hyena Umbra? Probably not. I might be able to get him with Relic Order next turn. I'd rather just stay back. Land is decent. Land lets me play Displacer. This plan is hopefully combat trick them with this Relic Order. If they just like land, Daybreak Coronet, attack, then we just basically win the game on the spot. Path my Thalia, that's mean. Sure. Does let me play Thought-Knot Seer next turn at least. They can't attack. Dryad Arbor. I think we're gonna just sit on this Relic Order. Yeah, just sit on this Relic Order. Leave the Vial on 2. Temple means I can also Fatal Push this Dryad Arbor, but let's see what they have going on first. Guess I could have always Ghost Corded it. Another Path, a Glade Cover, and a Spirit Mantle, huh? I'll take the Path, honestly. If they Spirit Mantle and attack, we Vial and Relic Order, eat the Spirit Mantle, and then block with Displacer or Thought-Knot. We Fatal Push that. And then attack there. I don't want them drawing more cards off their path, pathing my Thought-Knot, since the lands don't matter as much now. Although we are getting to the point where we could start flickering Leon and Relic Order multiple times. But this should be GG if they attack. Do they sniff out this Relic Order? Interesting. I don't know what their plan is if they're not attacking or blocking, though. We're just gonna keep having this Relic Order out. And then now we can double flicker it. It doesn't do a lot until they have even more equipment, or auras. I'll attack. So they block there. And then we Relic Order this Spirit Mantle. I suppose we could also Relic Order the Hyena Umbra, but I think I'd rather just blow it up. Opponent. Take their Spirit Mantle. Kill the Hynambra. Yeah, alright, opponent's dead. The problem is now where you have to win game 3. Which is very dicey. We drew our best hate card, Relic Order. I guess that game was not very close, but drawing our best hate card in the matchup is very important to winning that game. I don't think we can do a lot either. We just need to run it back and then hope that they get unlucky. Hope that they do some more mulliganing. Mirror Crusader can also pull some amount of weight if they don't draw Rancors or Spirit Mantles or whatever they're called. Hello. Wait, why is chat so far down? There we go. Hello, Palladian. How you doing? Put a mulligan to 6. Ooh, we have Settle the Wreckage? Man, alright. Snap Keep. Unless they have Leyline. Alright, no Leylines is great. We might be able to get there with Settle. Ordered everything I need for my deck except the Blood Moons. Sweet. What deck you making? What do I want to do here? Just Caves into Vial. If they play Spirit Dancer next turn, we can Vial plus Path. If they don't, we can just play Thalia. Scred. Sick. Scred's a sweet deck. I hate playing against it with Eldrazi Taxes. It's miserable because Blood Moon's so bad for you. It's a little better for mono white Taxes. Alright, so now we have exactly what I planned. Let's play this Vial. And then Path the Spirit Dancer in the upkeep. This was a lot of fun Barn for a while, and I enjoyed it way more than most decks in Modern. Yeah, that was my problem in Modern for the longest time, was finding a deck that I enjoyed playing. Because that's the big thing. Modern's so wide open, but you really have to enjoy what you're doing to really take full advantage of the format. Opponent punches me for 2 in the air. Sure. Scred, yeah. Speak of the Devil, one of the decks all the time's been thinking about making. There's no reason to play a deck you hate just because no deck is actually that good. Yeah, exactly. There's no tier 0 nonsense unbeatable deck. There's legitimately tier 1 decks like Humans and Hollow One and stuff, but as has been said, yeah, exactly. Every deck's a 3-2 deck. I 3-2 with Eldrazi Taxes, Mono White Taxes all the time. These decks are absolute piles. Drew another Aether Vial. I'm a little concerned about playing this Thalia, honestly. Drawing Mono Aether Vial is not great, but Thalia locks me out of casting this Settle. So I might just wait to Vial it in. Is that fucking Boggles? Yes, we might actually have this. We have a Settle the Wreckage. Opponent has 2 cards left in hand. We have a chance. We're gonna sit on this Thalia. I might not Vial it in just because I want to be able to sell the Wreckage to them next turn. They just keep punching me for 2, though. I'll win the race. They're flooding out pretty bad. Yeah, we'll put in Thalia. This will come back to bite me horribly, but we're gonna do it. We have like 8,000 Aether Vials. Not super great here. Oh, thank you. Thank you, opponent, for pathing my Thalia. Now I don't have to be concerned that I'm about to lose this game. Auto-yield all these Aether Vials. Tick up. Tick up. Flicker Wisp is nice. What does this do again? 4 mana, return attached. So, Settle the Wreckaging doesn't even do anything right now. I might just use this Flicker Wisp to try and trade with the Glade Cover. Or again, just race it. We'll see what they have. Oh, opponent's mad in chat. Probably because they're flooding out really badly. Guess we just take it here. Although Flicker Wisp isn't gaining any other value, I might just flicker the Griff Spoon, just to take one less. Reminder, if they drop Leyline, the Ghost is... Oh yeah, I don't want them to draw Leyline here. That'd be really bad for me. So I might be sandbagging the Settle too long, but I think this is fine. We'll take one less damage. I think I just want to race them with this Flicker Wisp. I'm just going to flicker their Griff Spoon and take one. If they path this, their last card in hand, yeah, whatever. Wasn't planning on blocking anyway. Do they have another path? They do, okay. So we'll take one here, go to 14. Put these vials on 4-3-2. And be pretty content where we are in this game. Then get Griff Spoon back, put it back on the Glade cover, whatever. 4, 3, and 2. That is a clock. We found our clock now. If they attack with both, we just settle, I guess. I don't even really want to settle. Okay, now I want to settle. The jig is up. Our last card in hand was Settle the Wreckage. Opponent in chat, get wrecked. They did get wrecked. They could still win this with a timely top deck, but they're pretty creature light. So, but if they just draw another Boggle, they just put the Griff Spoon on it, draw some more. But feeling pretty good about this. Not feeling good about drawing a bunch of lands. Punch. Please don't have a creature. That's good. At what point am I supposed to Ghost Quarter myself so I don't draw the basic swamp? Alright, that's something. I'll take it. It also lets me take a look at their hand. If they do draw a creature or something. They have their third Path to Exile. Alright. Sure. Activate the Vial on 2. Please let me win against Boggles. Give him the business. Take his ethereal armor. 5-turn clock. I'll take Thought-Knot Seer to be good. Eldrazi Displacer would be really good. Another Tide Hollow would be fine. Can't really think of a lot else that I really want to draw here, but I guess Flicker Wisp would be good enough. Really just draw anything with power would be okay in my book. I just want to have things that have power to kill my opponent. That does not have any power. Man, if we lose this, I'm gonna be sad. We're at 18 though, thanks to that Shambling Vent, and their deck is pretty creature light, so they're very unlikely to find something. This is the most plodding path to victory that I've ever had. Just slowly getting there. Please don't cast 4th Path to Exile on my Tide Hollow Scholar opponent. I need this to kill you. It's really important. It's my only avenue to victory. They have officially given up. They're equipping my creature with thing. Wait, no, this is pacifisms, right? Whenever enchanted creature deals damage, you gain that much life. Yeah, they have pacifismed my Tide Hollow Scholar. Like, it's not technically pacifismed, but more or less prevented it from dealing damage. That's good. We can Tide all of them and then sort of clock them again. I'll attack anyway. Take that, opponent. Show them what's what. They take 4, take 2, then gain 2. Draw step, second Tide Hollow. I guess they haven't... Now, yeah, this thing can still attack for lethal if it's literally attacking for lethal. Because the damage happens and the trigger goes on the stack, so they're dead in 2. Oh, thank God. We won. Violent Displacer. Really give them the business. Make the Spiraling fall off, and they'll concede. Oh, thank God we beat Boggles! Boggles. We've won all our matches in 3. It has been quite the climb to get here. Ugh. I don't even know. Did we need that? I guess we did need this at all the wreckage because we drew so many lands. Opponent probably would have just killed us with their 2-power Boggle. I'm trying to figure out if our hate card... But our hate card definitely won us that game. We did flood out horribly, and they had a chance of winning. If they had drawn a core Spirit Dancer, we would have just been toast. If they had drawn a Boggle, we probably also would have died. They would have been able to put Griff's Boon on it from the graveyard. And then play some of those Hyena Umbras and stuff like that that they were drawing. Our 3-0, we are officially in the prize money. That's nice. I'd like to get another trophy on my belt, though. See if we can take down these last two games in theatrical 2-1 fashion. We lost game 1 all the time. What did we play round 1? Round 1 we played against Eldrazi, lost game 1. Round 2 we played... No, we didn't. We lost game 2 against Death Shadow. And then we lost game 1 against Boggles. But yeah, that game definitely showcasing why both the hate cards being good against Boggles, also showcasing kind of the inconsistency of Boggles. If you can deal with one of their threats via stuff like Relic Warder in game 2 and Settle the Wreckage in game 3. That coupled with they mulliganed to 6 a little awkwardly. They had a bunch of paths that didn't let them pressure my life total early on. Let's get in there. What are we playing against now? We have... well, we almost have turn 3 Thought Knot. If we don't want to turn 1 Aether Vial, we have turn 3 Thought Knot. But we also are on the draw, so we're pretty likely to hit it another land. So I'm down for playing Temple Vial, and then Shambling Vent, and then hoping to hit an untapped land for turn 3. Opponent's also on a mulligan to 6, so... Opponent's on a mulligan to 5. Deal. What you got over there? Hollow one? Pyro? Could be Mardu Pyro. I don't think Hollow One plays Inquisition. I don't think they care about their opponent's hands enough. Likely Mardu Pyro. Could be Jund, but okay. Takes my Aether Vial. They're playing on Blood Mooning me, perhaps? Now, the chances of me top decking another Eldrazi Temple are astronomically low. I guess not astronomically, it's just 3 and 52, but low enough that I'll just play Shambling Vents here. Alright, didn't get punished. We'll just play other Shambling Vents and hope to God my opponent just doesn't turn 3 Blood Moon me. Please don't. Okay. Well, that's kind of a bummer, too. If I'm being honest. Because then they can just downtick. Wait, they're on Jund? Oh, huh. Interesting. So they can just downtick their Lily to kill my Thought Knot? Do I even want to cast Thought Knot here? I could cast Flicker Wisp, put the Lily back on 3, then if they minus it, it goes to 1 and they can't Edict the second time. They only have 1 card in hand. I think I'm down for that. Because if the Lily's at 1, then I feel better about playing the Thought Knot. Although Thought Knot gets worse, obviously, when they discard their whole hand here. They'll cast a spell, plus up the Lily. Bummer. Oh, definitely a bummer. We're going to discard this Caves, so we can Leonin Arbiter Path this Bob. Ooh, Leonin Arbiter Path Ghost Quarter. Then if they plus, they kill the Thought Knot. If they downtick, they kill the Arbiter. I'll see what they do. If they draw a removal spell, then we're in trouble. Now they're at a loss of what to do. If they plus up, we draw a colored source, so we can animate shambling events, put the Lily to 1, and then have a chance there. There's a chance I was supposed to hold on to that Ghost Quarter, I suppose. Alright, let's draw a colored source, please. Not a colored source. I am going to cast this Displacer, though. I don't want them to get the extra card draw off this Thought Knot. If I play it and they minus the Lily, draw an extra card. This Displacer means that if they minus the Lily, then they just trade here. If they draw a removal spell, again, we are really up shit creek. If they remove removal spell my Displacer, then plus kill the Thought Knot, but... Okay, that's their plan. Sure. They draw, like, Tarmogoyf? Another Bob. We'll play a 4-4, but it's not great, considering the opponent has active Dark Confidant now. Inquisition, that's fine. Go ahead and flip that. Multiple Ghost Quarters. I could actually Ghost Quarter them off of green, might be relevant. Could Ghost Quarter myself into animating Shambling Vent as well. I think Ghost Quartering them off of green is probably better. Could also try to Ghost Quarter them off of red instead. But I think I'd rather them not be casting Tarmogoyfs here. Do they have Bolt? Let's see if they have Bolt, I guess. This is the only reason they would block there, right? They're 18, they just want to draw a bunch of cards. Even if I had Bolt, I'm not sure I would have done that block. Oh, I guess K-Command. Yeah, that's a valid reason for that block. I'll give them that. Let's take them off of green. We're in top deck mode. I don't want them to be playing Tarmogoyfs and stuff. Yeah, I'll just shoot both of these. They can get a swamp or whatever. They usually don't have 2 forests in these decks. Maybe they do now. Ah, they do. Bummer. 2 forest, 2 swamp? I guess Blood Moon is kind of on an uptick. Raging Ravine. Oh, nice. I just wasted both my Ghost Quarters. No! I'm bad. Maybe if I knew more things about the format, I would know that people play more forests now. I could have, if I didn't Ghost Quarter them then, I could have then double Ghost Quartered them, kill the Raging Ravine and their other green source. We're definitely just dead, but... Trying multiple Inquisitions, at least. Animate Ravine. Smash. With my notable lack of Ghost Quarters. Let's try and beat them down and hope they draw a bunch of fluff for the next 900 turns. It's more fluff. It's not fluff that deals them damage, though. I'd like to see more Thoughtseizes. So they have 3 cards in hand effectively. They have 2 Inquisitions. Yeah, that Ghost Quarter play was really bad. No attacks is interesting. Do they have a removal spell? I'll attack them. If they try to animate Ravine to block, I can just blink it. They do get to cash in one of those Inquisitions now, but I think it's fine. If that was their plan. Treetop Village. These Bobs being pretty nice. Or I guess this single Bob. Cash in this Inquisition, perhaps. 3 mana. Lily. I guess 4 mana. I'll sack this Thalia. Not doing a whole lot. Sure. Could kill the Lily here. Not sure if it's actually better to put them to 4, though. Try to kill them off this Bob. That might be my best bet, honestly. Let's get aggressive. Alright, well, they can pull this Displacer now, but they are at 3. Tarmogoyf, that's horrifying. They discard the Inquisition, right? They discard a Thoughtseize. So they still have this second Inquisition in their hand. Treetop Punch for 5. I think I just need them to flip a 3 off this Bob is my only avenue to victory. Come on, Bob! That's not what I wanted to see. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're still alive. Man, that Bob flipping a land too, which means they have to hit a 3 again. Do they have a removal spell? If they have removal, we just die here. Terminate. Alright. Well, we tried. I think that was our best avenue to winning that game, was the aggressive attack with the Displacer there. They had the one window to flip a K-Command or a Lily or a Bloodbraid or something. But let's go to post board, where we have some better cards for this matchup. But this deck has a little bit of trouble against Jund. It can't grind nearly as well as, say, Mono White Taxes. Stuff like Blade Splicer is very good, especially against stuff like Liliana the Veil. Whereas Eldrazi Taxes is embarrassingly bad against Lily. You saw how badly that turn 3 Liliana wrecked me, even after the opponent did nothing the first 2 turns of the game. We just got here and already losing. We're 3-0! Cut me some slack, Caleb. Also, we're against Jund, which is notoriously not a good matchup for this deck. I don't think I bring in Rest in Peace. Is it worth it? It only turns off Tarmogoyf. Didn't see any Grim players. It turns off buying back cards on with K-Command. Better player as always win. Well, we're 3-0, so I guess we're not that bad in that regard. Cut these vials. What else do I cut? Strangler is actually good against Jund versus, like, say, Abzan. Strangler can kill Bobs, which is very relevant. If the opponent has Bob, they can easily run away with the game. Let's shave down on Flicker Wisps, since Flicker Wisp does get a lot worse without Vial. And if the opponent has Liliana with the Last Hope, which I've seen quite a lot of in BGX decks lately, I don't want to have too many X1s in my deck. So let's do that. The Flicker Wisp does synergize with Wasteland Strangler, but that takes a lot of mana without Vial. Yeah, I'm okay with this. Would like to play first. We have Fatal Push, we have Thalia, we have good cards. we had another land, we have turn 3 Thought Knot. This hand is very good. Opponent's not going to have a 1-drop, so we will lead with Temple here, actually. Just in case we draw a second Eldrazi Temple to play turn 2 Thought Knot. As unlikely as that is. Pretty much no downside. Since I'm not casting Fatal Push on turn 1. Nope. I'll play Thalia here. I don't really want to play Displacer, since Displacer could get Fatal Pushed or Bolted here. Whereas Thalia is immune to both because they would cost 2 mana. Dark Confidant. We will Fatal Push that. Really wanted to hit another land for this Thought Knot Seer, but we can go one more turn without it. Come on, deck. Let's see the money. It's not money. That is not good at all, actually. At least we can play Displacer now. If we had no castables here, this Thalia was just a horrible draw. If we had no castables, this would be terrible. They'd hit 4th land, Liliana minus on my Thalia. They can still do that with Bolt untap Lily, but that's less likely. Bloodbraid? Seems like a Bloodbraid. Into... God. Stone Cold, actual worst case scenario. Alright, let's draw a land, please, deck. Oh, thank God. Skill game. Easy every time. Well, we have a chance here. Opponent just has 2 lands in their hand. They'll just draw Terminate, it'll be fine. I'm gonna discard this Tide Hollow. Opponent's basically top decking at this point. Opponent discards Black Cleave Cliffs. Inquisition takes Mirror Crusader. Yep. If we draw a land for this Shalai, this could be good. This could be very good. Land, please. I'll take it. I will definitely take Wasteland Strangler. Not quite a land, but lets me clear their board. Alright, feeling okay. Feeling pretty good. Opponent drawing another land. They gonna punch with Ravine? Sure. Guess they want to make it a 4/4 so they can block Thought Knot next turn. That's fine, though. I guess we play Thalia. Now they have a 4/4 that can block. Crusader that I can't cast. So if I tie with these two, they animate Ravine block here. They take 6, go to 1, we play Arbiter. If they block here, they trade, they go to 2, and we have 3 lethal attackers. They do get to draw a card, notably. I think I do have to attack here, though. Sure. They go for the value? No, they go for the trade to draw a card. They go to 2. We now have 3 lethal attackers, and they have 2 cards in hand. They need, like, a Damnation or something. We took a game. The issue is now we're going to have to play game 3 against this deck, which is terrifying. We did beat the best possible out of them when they blood-braided a Lily and we still won. We did have a timely top deck with Wasteland Strangler, though. Although it could have been a 4th land for Shalai, and I would have been okay as well, because Shalai protects the Thought Knot and protects me, so they can't minus Lily Edict me, and they can't target the Thought Knot to draw more cards. And the Shalai would have just beaten them down so much faster. Shalai might have been better than land, honestly. Or better than drawing Strangler there. Yeah, opponent did not make it look like Rest in Peace was good against their deck at all. I always very much dislike bringing in Forge Tender against this deck. Since it hits both Bolt, and you never know if they're on Anger of the Gods or some other sweeper, Damnation or something. But I'm looking to 6, and we have a good hand. So there's hope. There's hope for us yet. We're gonna lead with Concealed Courtyard here. Again, the 3 and 52 of drawing the second temple versus being able to cast Tide Hollow Scholar here. I shouldn't have 6. I might need to path a Bob here. Path Bob into Scholar is probably fine. Giving them the extra mana is... Okay, I won't path a Tarmogoyf. Yeah, we'll just Scholar here to see if we can hit removal spells. Next turn we can Arbiter into path. Oh dear. That hand is quite scary. So I can hope they don't hit the 3rd land and take the Bolt. If I take Liliana of the Veil, they spend their turn bolting, and then I can Thought Knot it after. Yeah, I think I just take the Bolt to stall. Oh wait, I was supposed to take the Lily to stall. Duh, I'm an idiot. Well, complete and horrible punt, but that's fine. I think we're still okay here. They play Liliana of the Veil. They get Bolt back. This could be going a lot better for me, but I'm a moron, so... If I Arbiter plus Path here, they could play Lily the Last Hope. I think I'm going to play Thought Knot Seer here. I just want to take the Lily out of the Last Hope before I can't beat it. They drew a Bolt. Interesting. So the hope here is that they attack with Tarmogoyf, but, I mean, they can't really. I guess they could. What happened to their Bolt? Oh, it's still in hand, though. They didn't draw a Bolt. I'm an idiot. Let's discard... God, all these cards are good. Discard Displacer, I guess? They discard Inquisition. Their hand is Finks Bolt. Okay, so this is really good for me. Because now they play Finks here to protect their Liliana. But then we Arbiter Path it. And have a Shambling Vent. Alright, this is great. And then kill the Liliana of the Veil. And then have 2 extremely powerful 4-drops. Gonti beats a 6/7 Goyf. Although they do have Bolt. Now they don't have Bolt. Play Gonti here, fish for a removal spell. Well, these cards all kind of suck. Tarmogoyf helps against Tarmogoyf at least. Kozilek's turn's bad. If they don't draw a removal spell, though, they can't attack through it. And if they do remove it, We don't die. That one's a bummer. Because I need to sack this Thought Knot here. Because it's not the worst. Now I get to Tide Hollow them. I will hands down block that. Easy every time block that Tarmogoyf opponent. Let's Tide Hollow Scroll plus Tarmogoyf, I guess. Take your Tarmogoyf, thank you. I will also play this Tarmogoyf. Sure. So I could animate Shambling Vent to guarantee the Liliana death. But I think I want to just trick them, play this Shalai. Attack like that, and they block with Bob so it dies. Yep. And then we play the Shalai here to protect against the Liliana Edict. Oh god, are we gonna take this game? Yes! We win the match against Jund, the Nemesis, with Shalai coming in clutch, Gonti coming in really clutch. I don't think them attacking there was correct. When they attacked their no, not Jund Death Shadow. When they just attacked their Tarmogoyf into my Gonti, I feel like that wasn't correct. Did I not record, like, my past 2 wins? Sure. Alright, this one's for all the marbles. This is for the trophy. We are 4-0. 2 1s all the way up. Gotta just grind out our hearts trying to get this trophy. But we're here. We're at the final boss with this deck. Shalai was good there. Gonti was good there. Just a lot of good stuff. Gonti traded with a Tarmogoyf and gave me a Tarmogoyf. It was very strong. Shalai protect against Lily Edict. Although, worst case on that Lily Edict, I sack the Tarmogoyf, I think, and then the Lily dies, and then I still have this Tide Hollow. But then if they draw a removal spell for the Tide Hollow, get their Goyf back. It could get ugly. Worst case was that they like draw Terminate there, terminate the Shalai, and then minus the Lily. And then they have 2 mana, so if I sack the Tide Hollow Schooler, then they get a Goyf, and then Goyf Stonewall's Goyf. So I probably just sack the Goyf there, and then I have a Tide Hollow versus both of us Hellbent. But they're at 14 life, so they could easily just top deck something and take over that game. But they didn't. Obviously, they don't have too much that does kill Shalai in that position. Did you beat Jund? Yeah, did you miss it? It was... we just had the sickest games against Jund. We won. Even though I also punted, I was supposed to take the Liliana the Veil, and I accidentally took the Lightning Bolt and almost lost the game because of it. If I had taken the Liliana the Veil, then they have to spend their turn bolting Tide Hollow, and then I get to play Thought Knot, take the Liliana the Veil, and then it never even enters play, and it just becomes a much easier game. But we did manage to get there anyway, despite my best efforts. We are now playing for all the marbles. We're playing for the trophy. I saw you had Shalai and Arbiter versus Liliana. We never had an Arbiter. Oh, no, we did have an Arbiter in play at some point. We never had Shalai in play until the very end, though. But we got to Arbiter, Path the Kitchen Finks out of the way, and killed the Liliana and stuff. It was really good. I'll keep this. We have double Path. If they're on a creature deck, it's really good. We just have Thalias. Seems fine. If they're on humans or something, double Path, excellent. Basic Plains. Could be the Mirror. We'll leave the Shambling Mound. Could be a lot of decks. Could be blue-white control for all I know. This hand's really bad against blue-white control. Please don't be on blue-white. It's the 4-0 match, too. Jesus. Ooh, it is mono-white v mono-white. We are on triple path. It is really bad for us if we get ghost quartered. Do I even want to play this Thalia? We just don't. We need more lands. We need to hit more land drops. We don't want to get Arbiter ghost quartered here. And Thalia basically does nothing. Thalia trades with Thalia, I suppose. Oh god, I don't want to die to Arbiter ghost quarter here. Yeah, if I play my own Thalia, these paths are probably never getting cast. I'd rather just path their 3-drop this turn, I think. They have a Flicker Wisp or a Displacer or something. Or Eldrazi Temple Thought Knot if they're on. To like that deep on Eldrazi taxes. It's fitting that this is the decider. I'm playing against mono white taxes for my 5-0. And they're playing against E&T for their 5-0. Punch me for 2, opponent. If they play Blade Splicer, what do I do? Flicker Wisp. Well, I guess that settles that. We're just going to pat this Flicker Wisp. We have a bunch of paths, and this matchup is oftentimes won by just a glut of flyers, so giving them the extra land I don't really care about that much, considering how tight we are on our mana. Guess we'll run out of Displacer here. We don't have any colorless mana, so I don't really mind if this gets pathed. If they have a Thought Knot or something, we have 2 paths so they can't protect their thing from dying. We do have it nicely set up if we draw like Wasteland Strangler. We're very well off. I do think that E&T is usually favored in the mirror. You can lose, you can get buried by multiple Blade Splicer, Flicker Wisp, Resto, whatever, make a bunch of golems, but the access to black, I think, usually makes E&T favored here. Wasteland Strangler is so good in the mirror. Fatal Pushes, Orzhov Pontiff, that sort of thing. What does the opponent have that they're tanking so long? They could path Displacer plus Tech Edge me. I do still get to go into black mana, though. Because I have the basic, but that's our last basic, which is really bad because we've drawn 2 basic planes against the Path Exile Ghost Quarter deck, which could prove to be very bad for us. I'm so nervous. Playing for the 5-0 is very nerve-wracking. It always feels good when you 5-0. You want to get that deck list published. Can't always do it, though, even if I do make it. Alright, well, that's passable. So that's fine. It's not Leonin Arbiter pathable. I would like to do that. kill it. Drawing mono paths is very good. In the mirror, a lot of the stuff, especially with my opponent not having a Vile draw, I don't have to play around Viled and Flicker Wisps or whatever. Opponent's also taking their sweet time with... Like, they can't do anything about this, but I guess they're doing something else at the same time. But the clock is very important. These mirror matches can go very long. But our hand is not shaping up to be good. Would have really liked to draw on a land. If I had drawn a land this turn, I could have Flicker Wisp, flickered a land, and then pathed it. Would miss out on 3 damage, but develop a Flicker Wisp. Which definitely feels worth it. Opponent, come back. Thought we might actually finish the stream up a little early, but we ran into the mirror match. So we're trapped in purgatory forever. Opponent like DC? What happened to them? I'm glad to see that Shalai is catching on in Legacy list, or not Legacy, in Modern lists. Shalai is very good in Modern. I have not been impressed with it in Legacy. I need to cut that. I'm going to do that right now. We're waiting here for nothing. This is the list we're playing tomorrow. We'll be playing Legacy D&T, so we're just going to cut these Shalais. Put Mirror and Crusaders back in the deck. Put it back. Something like that is probably the list we're going to be going back to. Anyway. Opponent's finally back. Punch him for 3. Opponent has a significant mana advantage because I've cast Path to Exile twice. Hopefully we don't get Leon Arbiter Ghost Quartered. Alright, if we draw on 4th land, we also could have Arbiter Ghost Quartered, or Arbiter Pathed the Shalai. That probably would have been better than Flicker was pathing it. It also lets us attack with the Displacer anyway. It does leave us naked to just my Arbiter turning on my opponent's Ghost Quarters, but not giving the extra land would have been nice too. I have nothing, opponent. Fire away. Uh-oh. Oh, alright. Not great, not great. Definitely not great. I wonder if I'm supposed to trade Displacer for Sarah Avenger here. Especially because not only are the cards we're drawing not lands, they're also the worst cards in the matchup. Thalia and Leon Arbiter are basically not draws in this deck, or in this specific fight here. Opponent has 3 cards left in hand. I could try to just edge them out with Flyers. I don't think they're going to block. And if they do block, I think I'm just fine with that. I'll attack. I don't have any colorless mana, so this Displacer is just not super good. I think opponent's trying to decide the same thing that I was just deciding, whether or not they think it's worth it. I think the answer is no. Yep, opponent has decided it is not worth it as well. Untap Displacer to block their stuff. Guess we could have free-pathed this, right? Because they're Arbiter. That option might be open to us in future turns, though. And I do want to develop flyers to kill them before they can kind of they can get their feet on the ground. I'm definitely at the disadvantage here right now with 3 dead cards in my hand and not a lot of lands. Ideally, we draw Eldrazi Temple so we can path the Saravenger and still have Flicker mana up. They could just Tech Edge away the Eldrazi Temple, though. Opponent taking their sweet time. Let me finish editing the legacy list. So this is the list I was playing right now. I feel okay about it. Well, we're back on 3 Crusaders. I might go back up to 2 Saravenger, 2 Crusader, but I think I like this list. I still have yet to cast a Cataclysm, so I don't really know how good it is. But anyway, we'll go back to Modern. This is the same list. My legacy list online here. If it ever loads. This isn't my internet, right? This website being pulled up is really laggy. Blade Splicer is scary. Second Leonin Arbiter, sure. Shalai is uncastable. I think I'm just going to path the Saravenger. Opponent has 2 cards in hand. We're just going to path Saravenger, they can't search, and we can get in with this Flicker Wisp. Although opponent doesn't want to trade. How greedy is it to attack with this Flicker Wisp first, and then maybe play our Flicker Wisp? Probably pretty greedy. We now have no answers to a Restoration Angel, so that's really bad for me. They also now have double Tech Edge, so maybe we don't even want a 4th land drop. Although I do really want to cast this Shalai, so not entirely accurate. You can even crack Canopy and still have a Resto up? God. Now I'm just terrified. Might even Flicker Wisp a land. Just to make sure we don't run this Flicker Wisp into our Restoration Angel. That is if they crack Canopy Sorcery Speed, so then I have 4 mana available, obviously. I'm not just going to Flicker Wisp a land when they have 6 open. Things are attacking. Alpha, that is very scary. Guess we soak up the most damage while not just trading here. Or not trading, that'd just be chump block. So they do have Resto, so that's really bad for me. Make another Golem. We drew another Path. I don't think we can kill them, right? They actually have lethal, too. Block here, we take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have exactly lethal. We drew 4 Path Exiles, but we just never drew the mana to get there. Ugh. I thought about blocking this Blade Splicer too, but then they would have just restoed anyway, to just save it. So I guess blocking the Arbiter was better. I take less damage and actually kill their thing. If I block the Splicer, they just resto before damage still. If I Flicker Wisp a Golem... No, I still just can't lethal them, right? They even have Tech Edge if I draw a mana to try and like sneaky kill them with double Flicker Wisp Shambling Vent or something. Kill that golem. You're just dead, though. I was really hoping for not Restoration Angel. That was definitely the card I absolutely did not want to see here. Great Canopy, sure. Opponent, probably just attack with Resto, attack with Golem, maybe even Alpha. Probably have to, what, block Thalia, block Arbiter. I think we are just dead, though. If they attack with everything, what if we double block the Resto with Flicker Wisps, and then put the Displacer in front of the Thalia? We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, go to 2. Then we have Path for the Golem, and we have Displacer to block Leonardo. We might win there. No, I mean not win. We might be able to survive if they alphaed. And obviously have nothing in their 3-card hand. There are a lot of variables here. Opponent does have to race the clock at this point. I don't know what exactly they're doing, but they are really running the clock down in a matchup where you do not want to be behind on clock. If we can have a solid game 2 and not just get crushed like we did this game, we might be able to win on clock. Opponent. Yep, opponent is attacked with everything. I think this might actually be my best line. Obviously, if they have another Resto or something, we're just super dead. If they just Resto this Blade Splicer, we die horribly. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. We are not dead on board. We are dead to Restoration Angel. Very many times over. We're also dead to that, I think. No, we're not dead to that with this Flicker Wisp draw. We could Flicker Wisp the Golem out. Block Thalia, block Arbiter. Kill this Golem. But we are dead to Flicker Wisp. We're dead to... Not dead to Eldrazi Displacer, but... We're basically dead to Restoration Angel. We're dead to Flicker Wisp. We're dead to Path Exile. But we're trying. We are very desperately trying to win this game. Okay, they probably have Resto then? We have to block like that or we die. Another Thalia, okay. Is that an Aether Vial? So we drew Ghost Quarter. Is it worth getting double tag edge to play this Shalai this turn? I think it might be. They only have 1 card in hand, and we can get a 3/4 flyer in play. Next turn we get double tech edge and it's terrible, but we can still cast Path, we can cast Arbiters or Thalias. I think I just want to get this Shalai down. Again, dead to Flicker Wisp, dead to Path. Double Tech Edge. That's what it looks like. Yep. Holding priority, Tech Edge my other land. That's fine. That's kind of a bummer now. Would really like this Wasteland Strangler. I want to attack, but I also don't want to be dead to so many live cards in their deck. They have 3 Flicker Wisps and 4 Paths left that they can cast to kill me. But I do want to be able to, like, lethal them. Maybe I just go for it. They have 1 card in hand. They obviously haven't killed me yet because they don't have it. They could draw 1 card. If I attack with Shalai, I set up for lethal next turn. I also die to 3-bit Inspector if I attack. Eh. Alright, no 3-bin. Come on, no Flickerus, no Path. Actually, Path doesn't kill me anymore, because both my blockers have Hexproof. Whew! Dodged a bullet. So what's the plan now? They have 1 card in hand and a Vial on 2. If I attack with everything, they have to block 2 creatures, right? I die to something on a Vial on 2. But if I attack with just Shalai, the same thing happens. Although attacking with everything loses to a second Thalia, right? Because they can block with a Thalia, block with something else. Take 3, go to 2, and then, like, a second Thalia would make sense for them to have as this last card that's been sitting in their hand for so long. So I think we just attack with Shalai Leaf up this path. Attack with everything. I don't like attack with everything. I think attack with everything loses to Thalia, which makes sense as the last card in their hand. I can't think of another card that they would have just been sitting for so long with, besides just another land. And attacking with Shalai plays it safe as well. We only die to, like, a Viled Leonin Arbiter or something at that point. Yeah, we're gonna attack with just the Shalai. Opponent has Path. I guess we die to that if we attack with everything as well. We can't even search a basic, because if we search a basic, we die. So if we pay for it with the Arbiter. I'll bait the opponent into going all out. I could prevent them from searching, but if they think I don't have anything and they can attack for lethal, then we might be able to get them with this path, with the 4th path. Oh, this was a dumb choice. I was just talking about them having a Thalia in hand. And if they do, then now they can survive this attack. I guess no, it didn't matter because it was killing all their stuff anyway. Whew, we won that. How did we win that game? Holy crap. Opponent conceded. I guess, yeah, that's fine. That's fair, because now we have Caves activation, so we can attack for lethal. Not Caves activation, we have Displacer activation. This is pretty good there. It was easy? Yeah, easy every time. Never didn't have it. Alright, let's board in our bunch of good cards. Relic Order. Gideon's probably okay. Crusaders. We do need to bring in a pile of cards for all the Arbiters and Thalias that we cut out. Oh man, time to bring in Stony Silence to get him. Right? Right, Caleb? 3 mana white rare greater than 2 mana white rare. I mean, the 2 mana white rare was Thalia, though, so I felt a little bad. Also, drawing 4 Path to Exiles was really good. We did sit with 2 dead Thalias in our hand the whole game, though, so give and take. What's the worst card in my deck at this point? Either Mirran Crusader or Gideon, probably. I like all this. Thought Knot can be a little awkward, but I think Mirran Crusader might be the worst card in my deck. We'll just bring in 1 because it's better than a Thalia or a Leonin Arbiter. Oh, man. I genuinely did not think that we were going to win that game at all. That game was just going so badly. Good thing we didn't Alpha Strike like Caleb said. We Alpha Strike, we just lose the game on the spot. Attacking with Shalai, plays around second Thalia, and plays around Path to Exile. Since they can only Path the Shalai, and I leave the 2 Hexproof guys back to block. Jesus, that was terrifying. So now we're up a game, and the opponent has just murdered their own clock. So I feel pretty confident that we're gonna do okay here. I didn't mean attack with everything that turn. Yeah, I'm sure. You meant attack with everything 2 turns later when they had no creatures left because we blew them out with this Path to Exile? With the 4th path. I mean, to be fair, I would have made that attack too if I were the opponent. There are 3 paths in my opponent's graveyard. It's like, alright, this is the only card that beats me here. Let's crunch. And they got super blown out. We'll keep this. Vial's very useful in the mirror. We have a bunch of, like, pretty good cards anyway. Path to Exile's good. Vial Showdown. Aw, man. Here, let's just path this. Could also just Tide Hollow them. I don't know how much I care about my Aether Vial. It is kind of obnoxious. I'd rather keep this path for something more relevant. Not 100% my opponent's don't draw the checks. I think I want to take a look at what's in their hand, though. We'll take a billion damage, whatever. Aether Vial, Flicker Wisp, Selfless Spirit, huh? Guess we take this Flicker Wisp. Yeah, they could actually flicker their Leo. If I take the Selfless Spirit, they could flicker a Leonin Arbiter, and then give me the Vial back, and then actually eat my Tide Hollow. So let's take their Flicker Wisp. So they can Vial in Selfless Spirit, that's pretty fine. Obviously not attacking with Tide Hollow. We do have to play a tap land, which is kind of annoying. But we had to play the Shambling Event eventually, with the curve, Aether Vial into Tide Hollow. Opponent is taking a long time. Don't know if they're like double queuing, they're just watching some like other Twitch streams or whatever at the same time. Opponent just draws Flicker Wisp. Alright, that's fine. That's pretty good. What? What do you want? That means nothing to me. Okay. So they did the exact thing I said they would do, because they just drew another Flicker Wisp. We could just path this Relic Order, get our Tidal back, and take the Flicker Wisp again. Which is probably the play, considering we can't do anything else. We can kind of hose their flyers once we get to Shalai mana, so... We'll do it on their upkeep, but before this Vial ticks up to 3. Pat that. We do take 5 here, which is a hefty amount. We need to top deck a 4th land. Back Tide Hollow them, take the Flicker Wisp. Of course, they'll just draw their 3rd Flicker Wisp, cast it, Flicker, Tide Hollow, and then Vial in the other Flicker Wisp. But punch for 5 in the air. Please deck. 4th land would be nice. Please? It's not a 4th land. It does actually not do a lot. Helps me not get blown out if I want to attack here. Just... Do I even cast this Crusader? It just dings me for another point of damage, which might be relevant considering my opponent's tagging for like 5 a turn. So I don't know any of their other cards in hand. Yeah, let's see what they've got going on with that Aether Vial. Alright, I can afford to attack at least. Yeah, we're not going to win the race, so we're not going to cast the Crusader here since it would take a damage. This file's going up to 3 anyway. The issue is that we're going to take 5 and then 5, and then a Flyer's not going to do it. So we need to draw land for Shalai immediately. Or something like Wasteland Strangler would be really good. No! Deck! Not what I meant. Does actually help me gain life. We have a chance. We only gain 1 life, but that's enough, right? Because we gain 1 life if we connect because the Caves animation will ping us. We drew a land. Yes, we did draw a land. My deck did exactly what I asked it to do. Oh no, they have Ghost Quarters, so we don't gain a life. So we're back to needing to top deck something really good. Preferably Wasteland Strangler would be the perfect draw. Come on. We'll also accept... I don't know, not a lot else. Just give me Wasteland Strangler. Displacer does not do it. Because they're both Shalai. I can't even play both of them to block both the Flyers. Dang. My opponent has a decent chunk of time on their clock. So we just have to play a genuine Game 3, but we're on the play in Game 3, which is really good. Okay, opponent just has Resto. We are super dead. Let's just run it back. We have a lot of good cards. Oh, I guess Settle the Wreckage would have been a really good draw there. I didn't think about that. Settle the Wreckage would have been excellent. But yeah, with them having Resto, I don't even think drawing that land would have been helpful. Or even Strangler. Come on, deck. But you gotta power through. We can 5-0 this league. I believe. I believe in you, deck. With a lot of very strong cards. In this matchup specifically. They have a lot of Restoration Angels, which are very good against me, but being on the play, we can leverage stuff like Tide Hollow and Thought Knot a lot better. We definitely have a shot here. Orzhov Pontiff would have been a good draw. If I just keep throwing out cards that I would have wanted to top deck on that turn. I think it's Settle the Wreckage and Orzhov Pontiff are the only two that win it. I do dislike that opponent's just draining all the sideboard time. They keep taking up time, but how hard could sideboarding possibly be, opponent? And there we go. As soon as I click over, look away. Would like to play first. We'd also like to keep this hand. This hand is very good. Of course, this hand just guarantees that we're not going to hit a third land drop ever, and we'll die horribly. But there's no way I pass up Fatal Push, Path to Exile, Tide Hollow Scholar. With 2 lands to cast them. We can just turn 2 Tide Hollow, untap with Path, push up. Well, my worst fears are slowly being realized. What do they have going on here? Fragmentize is pretty bad. And also very easy to play around now. Maybe it's Blade Splicer, honestly. I can just push the Copter. I think I take Blade Splicer. It's just the hardest to answer. We really want to draw a third land deck. Just really badly. Oh, they can actually fragmentize my Tide Hollow. I didn't think about that. I just forget this thing's an artifact. Then they have to spend their turn 2 not playing Smuggler's Copter. Then they turn 3 play the Blade Splicer. And then the Smuggler's Copter's still in their hand. Hopefully by then we can draw. You seem to get mana screwed more than Flood. We flooded super hard against Boggles. We just also get mana screwed a bunch. Nope, they are running out the Copter. Oh, thank God. So now they can't Fragmentize plus play Blade Splicer this turn. So we can take a turn off to play Displacer now. If they Fragmentize the Tide Hollow, we have a chance to top deck an untapped land to just Thought Knot the Splicer, or just the Resto away. Probably Thought Knot the Resto away, honestly. I guess Resto just gets answered by a Path, whereas Splicer, if I Path, that leaves the 1/1 in play. Splicer's also not that scary, because I can displace the token away. Second Vial, sure. I missed the guy who bragged about buying a space helicopter for a huge amount of money right when they came out. There was a guy at my LG. Ooh, this is perfect. There was a guy at my LGS who had a binder full of smugglers' copters. And he was like, oh, I have like 100 smugglers' copters or whatever. His card's so good. And they got banned. Let's thought not this resto out of there. So they can't actually cast resto yet, but I can just blink the golem out of the way. They do get to hit me for 3 with their smuggler's copter. Whatever. We'll have Fatal Push up for our next turn. We're just going to take this resto because it's the hardest card to beat in their hand. Opponent's got 5 minutes left. Clock's a ticking, and we have a hand literally full of removal. So they could cast Splicer, Crew the Copter, attack, and then Violin, Mirror Crusader. We have Path for the Crusader, though. So we can just attack with both of our creatures pretty freely. Although they'll have a Golem up as well. We get Path plus Blink. That's probably the best plan. If they Splicer Crew here, attack, yeah. We'll Path Crusader, Blink the Golem, attack them for 7. They loot away the Crusader, interesting. It's a good draw. It means now I can leave both Path and Push up. Or leave another Blink up. I imagine they have another card on this vial. Just wondering what it is. We could Ghost Quarter the Tech Edge and then trigger the Revolt on the push. Okay, nope, they just don't care. Sure. Alright, I'm down. You do you, opponent. They do have something. What you got? Flicker Wisp? That's what I have imagined. Yep. So I think the plan here is Ghost Quarter this Tech Edge, Revolt, Fatal Push the Blade Splicer. I guess I could just let them get this Golem. I don't really care. They're also doing it on their end step, so this Blade Splicer is just going to be gone. Just blink out the Golem. I guess they could actually Tech Edge me, so I can't blink out the Golem until I untap, but this is all fine. This resolves, opponent. That's fine. Could have also flickered Thought Knot in response to the Violin 3. That would have been interesting. I also think the opponent's pretty incentivized to want to target this this Eldrazi Temple with their Tech Edge. I think we got them. They're in 3 minutes on the clock. We're just very ahead on board. I feel really good. Did we get the legendary 5-0? Flicker Wisp, huh? Resolves. Oh, hang on. Your comment's getting auto-modded. Wang Chung, sorry about that. I never noticed this. Here, I'll allow your comment. There we go. Think they get auto-modded sometimes. If I don't know if you cuss. I don't know how auto-mod works, but I just get these little messages on my other chat. I didn't notice it either. Alright, so they can draw a card by flickering this Thought Knot. Yeah, that's fine. What? Sure. Through the copter. Push the copter. So they do have the Violin 4, alright. Or they do have the Resto. Should be fine. Oh, they have Shalai. Oh, that's fine. We just pat that Shalai. Even better. That attack just means they die, right? Oh no, they're getting a Blade Slicer back. So they're not dead. They're just mostly dead. Yeah, take that path. So I can't flicker this Blade Splicer down, because, obviously, it just makes a golem when I flicker it. I can just kill this. And then attack for lethal. So they have to chump block with this Blade Splicer. So I kill it to prevent any more flicker shenanigans. And we also just have this Settle the Wreckage. We have 2 lethal attackers. Yeah, let's attack. Even if this goes horribly south, we have Settle the Wreckage. Right now, I just think they just block. Yeah, I'm fine with that. When I hit with Shambling? Yeah, I guess I probably should have. I was thinking about something going really, really far south. Like they have something on this Violin 3 with their 1 card in hand. And I want to be able to actually cast Settle. But yeah, that generally makes sense. I was also thinking that it doesn't trade with Flicker Risk for some reason. Momentary lapse in judgment. Alright, they're just dead. Yes! We win! Didn't matter. But yeah, hit with Shambling's probably correct. I was for some reason thinking that it was going to die to Flicker Wisp and not trade somehow. But yeah, Shambling hits. Perfectly reasonable. Especially because I think I could still leave up a blink in case they did have a 3. Like a Blade Splice or something, I could still blink the token out of the way. We 5-0'd! We did it! Victory's ours. We got our 16 chests and everything with this list. Let me give it a quick wrap-up, but of course, giveaway. But, yeah, I want to do a quick wrap-up. The last round, of course, took a million years because it was the Death and Taxes mirror match. It takes forever. So we're going to wrap this up real quick. If you're watching, when's the giveaway? I don't know, maybe we'll do something fancy. We had 100 followers yesterday, or 2 days ago maybe. Thinking about doing a longer stream on like Sunday or Monday or something. Maybe we'll do something. Not exactly sure what we're going to do other than kind of a long stream. Anyway, this is the end of the stream for tonight. If you like Death and Taxes, you like the content, you liked hanging out today, then be sure to hit the follow button. It helps you know when I go live and helps other people find my content. It costs you totally nothing. Other ways to support the channel, you can subscribe or donate. Subscriptions are the button above, donations in the link down below. If you subscribe, you get the sweet Thali emote shown in, usually sitting on the sideboard. If you donate, feel free to shoot me a message about if you want to see like a certain Taxes deck going on. Eldrazi Taxes, I know all the time's favorite. Maybe people like legacy taxes with red splash, different taxes things. I'm not partnered with like any MTGO companies, so I'm pretty limited to the taxes decks I own. But, you know, I do enjoy playing taxes. If people want to throw out ideas, I'm definitely open to hearing them. So we 5-0 with this list. It's pretty sweet. Hopefully we get published. There might be another taxes deck that 5-0s takes away our publish, but we'll see. We'll see if we get there. It's very grueling. We 2-1 to every single match. Just no free games. Had to really drag our feet. But we managed to pull it out. It feels good after a while. We're hitting a slump of 2-3, 3-2ing. And it feels good. This deck does feel pretty powerful. I think I like this more than Mono White Modern. I was kind of on Mono White Modern when I 5-0 with that, but it's basically how many Blood Moons do you play against with this list, is how good I feel about it. Anyway, that is going to do it for tonight's stream. We're going to find someone real quick to host, and then I'm going to cut it off. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some legacy taxes. I was talking about that kind of in the middle of the stream there. I cut the Shelleyes again because Shelleyes seems pretty horrible. Cube Trophy Leader? No, we want Legacy. Why is everyone streams Arena nowadays? I'll stick with Modern too, but Modern KCI, it's okay. Maybe I should support Modern since I was playing Modern today. So we're just playing Mardu Pyro. We'll host them. Alright. Mardu Pyro is a pretty chill deck as well. And I'm going to call the stream there. I will catch you guys all tomorrow with some sweet Legacy Taxes action. Later.